Thank you so much. I am deeply honored to have you here this evening. And I'm just going to start with a poem that is not in the book, because one thing that you'll notice is once you write a book, the first thing that happens is once it's done, you write a whole bunch of other things that should have gone in that book. And that's how other books get born. A lesson in boundaries. I hold this page between us like a saber, because we are already standing too close. I open my mouth and there you are beneath me, baby bird, waiting to be fed this regurgitated nutrients. There is a need in you. Naked and primal, a longing for what is mine, and I don't trust you not to take too much. So I hold this page between us like a barbed wire fence, hoping as you press your face against it, the tang of metal, the piercing of iron and electricity will guard against your wayward curiosity, will poke your eyes shut when they have seen enough. I hold this paper between us like an old lady opens the door to her apartment, locks all still in place, never quite removing the chain, only cracking it open a sliver long enough to see who it is, and it's you again. Like a bill collector, no, like a loan shark. You're asking for payment but willing to take limbs, blood, pain. You would just as easily see me stretched and broken. It would be equally as beautiful to you. So I hold this page between us as a reminder that what I am willing to give you is finite, is not the never-ending story, all-access Disney pass to my soul, is 9x11, with 1-inch margins, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And as I whisper my words to you, don't mistake me for soft-spoken. Feel the sledgehammers wrapped in velvet at the core of every stanza. Feel the bite of me, the gilded Gensu knives I juggle with a grin, and know if I were to speak any louder, I might deafen you. If I were to share much more, the rain of falling knives would slit you into ribbons, so I hold this paper between us as much for your safety as for mine. Yeah, sometimes it's hard. It's not always easy to share what you think and what you feel, and for me that's been a big catalyst for my writing. That's really why I write, because I can always tell the truth. I can always write it down on paper, the things that I'm afraid to say, the things that I am ashamed to say, all of it. So here's the tricky part. So then you write things down, and then you make a book and other people get to read it. Awkward. It's a little awkward sometimes. So, but it's also kind of great. So Love in Guatemala is a collection, actually it's 2 collections of poetry and one short story, or one really not that short story. I won't lie, it's not short. And the way that it came about is actually a process that's taken about 5 years total to collect all the poetry and whatnot, because I never really set out to write a book. I just wrote a poem, and then I wrote another poem. And then one day I looked down and there's this stack of poetry, and I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? And that's exactly, hi Ian, I just saw you. Sorry. I haven't seen you in a long time. So how this is going to work this evening is I'm going to kind of talk a bit, and then I'm going to read some more, and talk some more, and read some more. That's kind of how it's going to flow. Is everybody cool with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And what I want to tell you about Love in Guatemala is just a bit about the process in terms of how it all came together. So some of you were around during this time when I had this fabulous experience of going to Ghana. I spent my birthday there. It was my 30th birthday. I had this amazing, just this trip where I got to meet the Vice President of Ghana on my second day there, put it that way. The Ghanaian Symphony Orchestra followed